Thank you, Father Wilson. Father Kelly, Reverend Fathers, any honored guests, and of course, my dear brothers. It's my great privilege and joy to share with you tonight my priest hero, Father Tom McNally from the Diocese of Kalamazoo. I've known Father Tom McNally for most of my life. He was first assigned as a newly ordained priest in my home parish when I was 10 years old. And then he came back again as my pastor when I was in high school. So he's been a great spiritual father and mentor to me throughout my entire life. And there's a lot I could say about Father Tom, but there's three things in particular that I want to share that have been particularly impactful for me in my life. And the first of which is Father Tom's intentionality. He spent a lot of time getting to know me and my family, and many other families that our parish, and I noticed this, that he was very intentional about really getting to know every person in his parish very intentionally. And this was very impactful for me. I didn't see myself as anyone special, any reason to get to know me more than any other guy in the parish. So this really showed me the value that he saw in me as beloved son. And I even saw this going into high school. Father Tom was at just about every one of my soccer games, right there on the sideline, cheering as loud as he could. And I thought, yeah, this is great. Father Tom just loves coming to my soccer games. And I actually found this out this summer. I was talking to him. That's like his least favorite thing to do. He hates going to athletic events. Well, what are you talking about, Father? You were at all my games. And he said, I was there because I wanted to share in what you enjoyed. I knew that soccer meant a lot to you, and I wanted to share that with you. And it really showed me the powerful way that Christ desires to enter into each of our lives, even on a daily basis. The next thing that I want to share is Father Tom's joy. He's a very joyful priest. He loves to laugh. His laugh is very loud and very infectious, so you can't help but be joyful around him. But what strikes me even more is the way that he is joyful even in his suffering. In his priesthood, there's been lots of periods of suffering and trial, and to see him offer that up to our Lord has been very beautiful for me. And there's one anecdote that I want to share about his suffering and joy. When I was in high school, I was part of a men's group that he was the chaplain of. We were down by the beach one evening, and we decided, let's have a foot race on the sidewalk. And Father in his clerics and his dress shoes said, let's do it. We're going to do it. And so he starts running. I ran faster, let that be known. But he fell forward and slipped on his dress shoes and scraped his hands pretty badly on the pavement. I felt really bad. I was bleeding quite a bit. And it was Saturday evening and to celebrate Mass the next morning. So I felt so horrible. And so getting ready for Mass the next Sunday, he walks in, hands very much bandaged, and I was just, very apologetic. But he said, "Oh, don't worry, everyone will think I have stigmata or something. I can't thank you enough." So he's in very good spirits, very much loves to make people laugh and to share the joy of Christ. And it really showed me the joy of priesthood. And lastly, and I think most importantly and most impactfully for me, is his fatherly care. I've known Father Tom for most of my life, and so he's been with me through just about everything, through all the joyful moments and all the times of great pain and suffering. And Father has really shown me how the Lord enters into suffering and loves us in those places, even when we feel unlovable. And I experienced this personally on many, many occasions. Our great patron, St. John Vianney, talks about how the priesthood is the love of the heart of Jesus. And there has not been a priest who has shown me the love of Jesus any more than Father Tom in the way that he encountered me in the places where I felt even unlovable. And so when I think about being a priest in the future, and I think about, what kind of priest do I want to be? Father Tom is always the first person that comes to mind. He shows me how a priest ought to love. He shows me how a priest ought to give his life to those around him. So for all the ways that Father Tom has blessed my life and the lives of so many other people, I say, praise be Jesus Christ.
Now and forever.